Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to day 39 of reading 101 essays that will change the way you think. As always, shout out to Brianna West for the text. And today's title is 12 Signs the only problem with your life is that you think about it more than you live it. Anxiety is usually bred out of inaction. We were born to actualize our potential, not just analyze it. Binge thinking is what happens when introspection becomes a means of avoiding a problem. Critically evaluating your life is supposed to facilitate living it, not the other way around. Here are all the things that happen when you let your life exist more in your brain than in reality. Number one, your goals are perfect outcomes, not perfect actions. You're more in love with the ideas than you are with work and processes required to make them reality. When you dream up your perfect life, you think about how you're seen rather than what your daily tasks include. I feel like people just love outcomes. Our society is just outcome based and not work driven. Nobody wants to put in the work. People just want the results. People want the view without the climb, and that's what you get if you just think about the dream life and not actually living that life, not putting in the work to get up the mountain. Number two, you're a maladaptive daydreamer. Maladaptive daydreaming is when you imagine extensive fantasies to replace human interaction or general function. Many people experience it while listening to music or doing some kind of rocking motion, walking, pacing, swinging, etc. Rather than cope with issues in life. You just daydream about grandiose alternatives that give you a high to eliminate the uncomfortable feeling. Number three, your purpose in life is abstract. You know that you want to help people or teach or give a voice to the voiceless, but you don't know how to do it. And you certainly don't focus on embodying it in your present life, the situations you're already in, with people you come across in day-to-day interactions. I feel like this is just, people just generalize their life. They're like, I want to be a good person. I want to help people. But you don't do it day to day. You see somebody who's struggling to cross the street. You see an old person putting groceries into their trunk and you don't offer to help. You don't want to help people. You just like the idea of helping people. You just like the idea of these grand big things and not actually living it in your daily life. Number four, the solution to most of your problems would just be to make some small change, but you absolutely refuse to. This is the classic sign that you're using overthinking as a means of deflection. It's easy to do, as picking apart a problem is a noble seeming distraction, but it's only useful until you have the answer. Then you actually have to act on it. Number five, you're always busy, yet never productive enough. Your work never seems to be done. You lose hours and don't know where they've gone. You're already stressed and frizzling out your brain as though you're perpetually in the middle of a high intensity task that never sees completion. I feel like a lot of people, they just say, oh, I'm so busy. I got all these things going on, but you just like the idea of being busy. You tell yourself that you're busy in order not to actually do things. You're not actually productive and things don't get done. Number six, you tend to resist what you want the most. Rather than putting forth genuine effort, opening up to it bit by bit, you've convinced yourself that you're not worth it, or that it's impossible, or that to have what you want means you could also lose what you want. So better not to have it ever than have it for a little bit. I feel like a lot of people, they say, I don't even know if I can, because you don't think you can do something, so you don't. So all you do is you think about it, you talk about it. But it's better to have it for a short amount of time than to not have it at all. And a lot of us, we don't want to put in the effort. We don't want to have to put our day-to-day actions into something in order to only get something for a temporary period of time. We don't know how long a certain thing is going to last, and we'd rather just think about it than actually live it. Number 7, you're one of those people who only bonds over what you hate. All this really means is that you, A, aren't doing enough to have something else or more interesting to talk about, or B, are so deeply insecure you thrive off recognizing that someone else is on your level. Judgment equals a need to be superior, which equals feeling incredibly inferior. I feel like a lot of people, that's all they do. They bond on things that they don't like. And these two reasons are true. It's you aren't doing enough to have something that is interesting to talk about, or you're insecure. Number 8, most of your problems come back down to a fear of judgment or exclusion. If this fear is present in your life to any significant degree, it's usually because you've already constructed a lot of what you think you like or do based on what other people think. It's for this reason that you don't naturally take action. You think about it, change what you want to do in the same way, and then maybe act, still fearful that people would not like that facade either. There will always be exclusion. People will always exclude you, and people will always judge you. It doesn't matter if you don't do things, and it doesn't matter if you do things. So might as well do things that you like and do things that you enjoy, because people will talk regardless. People will exclude you and will judge you no matter what. So might as well chase after that dream, chase after that goal. Let people call you crazy. Let people think you're stupid. But it's better to do that than to be somewhat judged, to be somewhat excluded, and not live the life you want. Number 9, if you stopped and thought about it, you could come up with 10 things you're grateful for. Your problems aren't so much not having as they are not recognizing what you do have. Gratitude incites more doing, more reciprocation. Positive feelings never leave you stagnating and overthinking them. We just have to be more grateful in general. I feel gratitude is one of the most important, not if the most important quality or trait that we can have, because gratitude will always put our lives into perspective. It will show us everything that we do have. Instead of looking at the things we don't have, look to how blessed and how grateful we have to be for the things that we have in our lives. Number 10, you want to change something about your life, but your focus is on dismantling the old rather than building something new that renders it obsolete. In other words, you're one of those people who tries to find comfort in over-analyzing old things to make more sense of them, when in reality, complexity is a product of insecurity, and insecurity a product of being unable to accept the simple reality of the solution. Instead of thinking, why? Why did that thing happen? What could I have done differently? We just have to act. We just have to build new, step into new seasons of our lives, rather than just analyzing and thinking about, why is my life the way it is? If you don't like how your life is, don't analyze why it is the way it is. Take steps and take actions into changing it. Number 11, you look for quick solutions more than you focus on restructuring the questions. When you try and fail at something, you spend too long focusing on why you failed, rather than learning what you need to, then moving on and trying something new. You keep yourself stuck between knowing what's not right and not being willing to figure out what might be. 12, you're always imagining what you want to do, yet never really doing it. You've convinced yourself that life begins when all the pieces are in place, but in reality, life is the act of doing just that. It's just about not thinking and not over-analyzing, because thinking will stop us from a lot of things in our life. Thinking will stop us from taking action because we think and we think. And if we think too much, we'll think of worst case scenario. We'll think of what if things don't work out. And that's why we get paralyzed, because we're like, oh, I don't want that outcome to be true. But if you just act on things, you act, and not act on every single impulse that you have, but acting on things that you've always wanted. Dreams, goals, aspirations for yourself that you have, acting on those. Acting on those without overthinking it, without thinking of what could go wrong. Because if you don't think, you can't think of what goes wrong, and you'll just do it. So instead of thinking about the life you want, live that life. Take steps towards that life. So tomorrow's title is Why Logical People Lead Better Lives in a Generation Where Passion is at a Premium. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 40.